If you look at the front of that piece of paper that you got, your little packet, I'm going to tell you, this section should go quick and it should be easy because there's really not a lot of calculations to do. We're just identifying what happens when you have a three-dimensional shape that's intersected by a two-dimensional shape. So, an intersection is a point or a set of points in common between the two geometric figures. What shape is this? The kind of yellowish colored one? It's a cone. We're going to label that. It's a cone. And if you'd label that on your sheet of paper too, label that it's a cone. Label that it's a cone. Does anybody know what this blue shape is called? It's actually considered a plane. A cross section is the intersection of a three-dimensional figure and a plane. So I have a 3D shape, a cone, and a plane, and the cross section is the part that they have in common. And what shape did they have in common? A circle. It's just a circle. Okay? And that's really what we're doing today, is simply identifying that part that the two have in common. Everybody with me so far? So if I look at this next shape, what is the name of this 3D shape that's here? It is a triangular prism. Obviously, the two-dimensional shape is a... No, the blue shape all over is a what? Plane. And the cross-section, again, is what we're identifying. And what is the cross-section? It is a triangle. Are there questions so far about what we're doing? Everybody think pretty easy so far? Yes? Okay. You can scoot up. And the screen is blurry. I can't help that. It's just the projection is bad. Blurry. It's especially blurry by the time you get to the bottom of it. Okay. Am I good? Go to the next slide. No. Am I good yet? Okay. I'll answer that in a minute. Okay? Now, in this one, it says describe each cross-section of the right rectangular prism. So they told me that the yellow shape was what? They told me it was a rectangular prism. Obviously, the blue shape, again, is a plane. And they asked about this cross-section. This one, they didn't pass horizontal or vertical. They kind of passed it as a slant. And what did it intersect when they passed it through on a slant? It intersected a triangle. And that's what they asked for. Everybody writing them down? Some people aren't. On B, if this is a right rectangular prism, and they've passed it through horizontally like this, what shape is this going to be? A rectangle. Everybody with me so far? Understand what we're doing? Simply identifying what happens when we take a plane and intersect a 3D shape. Can I go forward? Let's look at C. Obviously, the yellow shapes again were rectangular prisms, still in the same section. Obviously, the blue shapes were both what? Planes. What shape is this one? Okay, I've heard it's definitely a quadrilateral. But there's more than that.
It's parallelogram.
Okay. Listen. Let's talk about what a rhombus is. It kind of looks like a rhombus, but to be a rhombus, all four sides would have to be equal. They don't look equal, do they? No. But they are parallel. Yes. These two sides are parallel, and these two sides are also what? Parallel. Now, assuming that this was a square on this end, then what is this? This is a square. Now, is it possible to have a circular cross section in a right rectangular prism? Yes or no? No. No matter how I slice something that's made up of all straight edges, I can't get a circle out of it. Okay? Everybody's still okay? Okay. A right rectangular pyramid with a non-square base. Okay? So they told me the base of this piece, is not a what? It's not a square. It is a rectangle. That's what they've told me. The length and width are different sizes. Okay? The shape of the base is a rectangle. They told me that. The shape of each side is a triangle. They said, is it possible, if I take a cross section, to get a square? Yes or no? The answer is no. If this was square on the bottom, I could get a square. But because it's rectangular, no matter how I pass it through, I can't get a square out of it. It's still going to be rectangular. Is it possible to get a rectangle? Yes. Yes, in fact, I could get lots of them. Is it possible to get a triangle? Yes. I can see the triangles on the side. Is it possible to get a circle? No. Okay. And I can get a trapezoid. And if you look at your figure there, on the bottom, you'll see one that looks like this, where they've taken a plane and they passed it through horizontally, but they didn't pass it through the vertex. And so if I did that, roughly it would look like that. And what shape is that? That is a trapezoid. Okay? These two faces would be parallel to each other. These two faces would not. They'd be tipped in. So it is possible. And they drew it there. If you look underneath it, you can see it there on your sheet. You see it?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody still okay? Understand what we're doing? Any questions? The assignment is page 249 and 250. You should work on them all. If you finish, and you might, please stay in your seats.